On the 29th of July 1967, Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzegu, the leader of Nigeria's first military coup, who had now been promoted to the rank of a Biafran lieutenant colonel, was trapped in an ambush and killed near Nsukka while conducting a 9th reconnaissance operation against the federal troops of the 21st Battalion under Captain Inuwa Bushishi.
Yes, this Biafran Nigerian Civil War episode by episode. I've previously dropped the episode 1, so because you watch the episode 1. For you to understand the second episode I'm about to drop now, you have to go back to episode 1 and watch it, so that you will understand this episode 2. This is the continuation of that previous episode 1 I've dropped. Now, settle down, watch the video. I'll still bring you guys the episode 3 after this one. So watch the video, drop me your opinions in the comment section, guys. I will be right back.
In the first few days of the conflict, the defensive Biafran army, made up of significant numbers of volunteers that were poorly armed, soon found themselves vulnerable to heavy artillery bombardment from the Nigerian forces. Finding themselves hopeless in the face of blanket artillery and mortar fire support, the defending Biafran troops from the 7th Battalion had no choice but to withdraw. On the 29th of July 1967, Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzegu, the leader of Nigeria's first military coup, who had now been promoted to the rank of a Biafran lieutenant colonel, was trapped in an ambush and killed near Nsukka while conducting a 9th reconnaissance operation against the federal troops of the 21st Battalion under Captain Inuwa Bushishi. Even though Nzegu was technically an enemy soldier killed in combat, Gowon ordered his body to be flown to Kaduna and buried with full military honors. By the end of July, the towns of Ogoja, Obudu, Karkem and Nsukka was successfully occupied by the 1st and the 2nd Brigades of the Federal Army. The Biafran capital of Enugu was now in sight. On the 25th of July 1967, the Nigerian 3rd Marine Commando Division, commanded by Colonel Benjamin Adenkule, the Black Scorpion, launched a surprise seaborne assault on the island of Boni, east of the Niger Delta region. The island was at the time an extremely important location as it was the main oil loading terminal for the Shell BP pipeline in Port Harcourt. The plan for the capture of Boni was to conquer the waterways and deny the Biafrans from receiving logistics during the war. With the Nigerian victories in the north, the seaborne attack in the south, and the Biafran capital of Enugu coming under immense pressure from the 1st Division, Ojukwu revealed a streak of tactical flair at the last minute. He called it
doing and creating something that will help generations to come.
Operation Touch was conceived by the Biafran High Command as a means to explore the fact that the Supreme Military Council had rather unwisely respected the wishes of the Midwestern region to remain neutral in the conflict, and so they concentrated their efforts on attacking Biafra from the north and the south, leaving the Midwest widely open. Ojukwu began to draw up plans for an invasion of the Midwest in an attempt to divert attention away from Enugu and possibly bring a quick end to the war. On the 8th of August 1967, Biafran troops from the newly formed 101st Division, commanded by Colonel Victor Banjo and assisted by Lieutenant Colonel Emmanuel Ifeojuna, crossed the Niger at Onitsha and landed in the midwestern city of Asaba. Within minutes, they took control of the post office and disconnected all major communication lines in the city. They continued to press forward, and when they reached the town of Agbo, they split into 3 fronts. The 12th Battalion, under Colonel Festus Akanga, moved west towards Benin City, the capital of the Midwest, and captured it. The 18th Battalion, under Major Ofri Chukwuka, moved southwards towards the towns of Warri, Sapele, and Ugeli, which were some of the oil-rich areas in the region. The last front, which was the 13th Battalion, under Colonel Mike Invensu, swung northwards towards the towns of Auchi and Agenebode. Unbeknownst to Colonel Banjo, some soldiers under a Midwesterner called Lieutenant Colonel Ochai made their way to the residence of Lieutenant Colonel David Ejo, the military governor of the Midwest. They were ordered by Ojukwu to arrest him. Fortunately for Ejo, his quartermaster, Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Ogbemudia, changed the guard detail at the government house the night prior, effectively replacing the troops that were ordered to hand over the governor of the Midwest. These new guards resisted the attacking soldiers and gave Ejo enough time to escape. The 12th Battalion, now transformed into a brigade, was tasked with the quick capture of Ibadan and the Nigerian capital city of Lagos. But this was postponed for about 3 days because Ojukwu and Banjo argued over whom to appoint as governor of the Midwestern region. Not wanting to appoint an Igbo officer as governor in the region, Banjo suggested that either Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Gbemudia or Colonel Rudolph Trimley be given the post. But Ojukwu refused and ultimately settled for an Igbo medical officer by the name of Major Albert Okonkwo. Returning to Benin, Banjo resumed the extremely delayed advance of the 12th Brigade to Lagos and Ibadan. They made their way to the town of Ore and awaited further instructions. In Warri, soldiers led by Major Humphrey Chukwuka made their way to the Warri prison and released Major Ademoyega, another co-conspirator of the January coup. Major Ademoyega was put in command of a newly formed Biafran 19th Battalion comprising 700 recently recruited soldiers meant to support the 12th Brigade in Benin. Lieutenant Colonel Ifejuna later gave up his command to Colonel Henry Igbugba and returned to Enugu as the division's liaison officer. After being appointed governor of the Midwest on August the 17th, Okonkwo installed a dusk-to-dawn curfew, allowing only citizens with passes to move freely at night. The administration was structured to empower those who supported the invasion. Local governments in the area were directed to donate materials to Enugu to support the war efforts. The opinions of the Midwesterners towards the Igbos before the invasion was indifferent, if not negative. Soon, some resistance groups began to spring up against the Biafrans, particularly from the ethnic Urhobos and Ijaws in the region. On the 20th of August 1967, a group of these rebels successfully raided the Biafran camp, killing 50 soldiers in the process. In retaliation, the Biafran soldiers began raiding many villages in the Midwest, carrying out many atrocities in the process. On the 19th of September 1967, Ojukwu created the Biafran puppet state out of the Midwest, with Okonkwo as its president, and called it the Republic of Benin. This only lasted for 24 hours. With this, Gowon immediately removed the clause for the police action and declared an all-out war on Biafra. On the 20th of September 1967, while the Biafran 12th Brigade was stationed in Ore, a newly formed Nigerian 2nd Division, commanded by Colonel Murtala Mohammed, attacked the Biafrans and forced them to retreat. The retreating Biafrans managed to get a vital head start in front of the advancing Nigerians by destroying some bridges on their way to Benin. When the Nigerian 2nd Division reached Benin, they discovered that the city was largely abandoned, but they managed to find a trapped Biafran unit stationed in the Benin prison. Most of them were killed by the federal forces while attempting to escape, the predominant of which was Colonel Henry Igbugba, who was imprisoned in Benin City by Banjo and beheaded by the federal forces when they arrived. Meanwhile, the Nigerian 3rd Marine Commando Division, under Colonel Benjamin Adenkule, was ordered to halt their advance from the Biafran south and head west towards Warri. They succeeded in retaking Warri, Sapele, and Ugeli from the Biafrans. Continuing their retreat from the Midwest, the Biafran troops from the 101st Division arrived at Asaba and crossed the Niger into Onitsha. To delay the 2nd Division from advancing into the Biafran territory, they destroyed the Niger Bridge at Onitsha.